Excellion333 asks, what do you think the human species will look like in 20 million years if we are still here? Very interesting. 20 million years is a long time. In order for a decent amount of phenotypic change in humans to occur, we are going to need to break off into various groups, which right now I don't see happening. But if we colonize various other planets and faster than light travel is not possible, so that these colonies will remain isolated long enough, then variation with the species will occur. What will we look like? Well, our basic form is a very good jack of all trades type of structure. Hopefully some improvements in our backs will come, but it works well enough, and a phenotype only needs to be not harmful in order to show up in a population. So I wouldn't think that a large amount of variety is actually going to show up in humans, unless some sort of cataclysm happens and sections of the population become isolated for huge periods of time. At least a million years in order to get significant variation. But you'll probably see some changes within a few thousand, but not enough to prevent interbreeding, I wouldn't think. Because already we're living beyond natural selection rules. Our population is large enough and we're prevalent enough in a variety of environments, and we keep traveling around and interbreeding racially and stuff, so that we're, instead of branching off in different directions based on environment, we're actually branch off a little, come back, branch, come back, branch, come back, kind of like interweaving with our integration with other cultures, and that has a I wouldn't say well, I guess it's kind of a stagnation effect on the appearance of new phenotypes. There's a couple of good examples of this. Some creatures that haven't changed for millions of years, like various sharks. Like a great white shark showed up several million years ago, forced the megalodon into extinction because the great white shark is more efficient, and has remained basically the same for a few million years now. Something like that. I think we are efficient enough to be we're adaptable enough in our current form to need other phenotypes to arise, and we're going to keep interbreeding, and that keeps everything kind of in check. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of change, actually. 20 million years is a long time, though, but I think you'll probably still be able to recognize somebody as being human even 20 million years down the line, if we haven't annihilated ourselves. Scam1312. Which is your most read book? Number 1. Which is your most read book? There is a book. I usually don't read books multiple times. I usually just read them once and then get on with it. But as a kid, there was one book that I read a couple of times. It was a book by Roald Dahl, and I forget the name of it. Something about a fox. Now I gotta look up on Wikipedia. There it is. It's called Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think in 3rd grade I probably read that book about 7 times during the course of the year, and that's probably my most read book. I don't have a habit of reading books over and over again. Maybe once, maybe twice, but usually just read them once and then I'm done. Number 2, how long were you Jewish, and do you miss anything? Well, technically I still am Jewish. It's not exactly something you can stop being according to tradition anyway. Judaism is passed along maternally, and so in that case, it's kind of like being a natural-born citizen, just kind of inherit it. So technically, I still am Jewish. Which is why there's a group of people, including, I think, Carl Sagan, Steven Spielberg. One of my neighbors is having a party. Seth Green as well, called Atheist Jews, which, you know, they're Jews because they were born into Jewish families, but they're atheists. I don't think you'd ever find a group of another religion like atheist Muslims or atheist Christians. It's just not going to happen. But that's the tradition. The tradition and the culture more than it is the religion. So do I miss anything? Not really. I mean, I still like matzo ball soup. That's really good. But like high holidays and Passover and stuff, I don't like getting dressed up fancy and doing all the ceremonies and crap. It just seems like a waste of time to me. So technically, I'm still Jewish. Do I miss anything? I haven't really left anything behind except for the religious ceremonies, and I don't miss those. Next, questions. Atheistic Buddhists, what do you do for a living? I am a printing press operator, and I work for a family business, actually, Priority Printing and Graphics in Flushing, Michigan. And to say that I'm a printing press operator is probably a little short on what I actually do. It is a family business. There's only a few of us, so we all wear a variety of different hats. So I'm also the IT manager, I'm a software specialist, I'm a mailing expert, mechanic, chemist, industrial engineer, accountant. That just comes with running a family business. Everyone's got, you know, equal share, but technically that's my title. I'm a printing press operator. Yes, it is as difficult as it looks. Yes, the machine could kill me if I let it. But one of the tools that came with the press is also a bottle opener, because my press is a Heidelberg press. Yes, that's German. And the Germans, they know what they're doing. You know, if you're running a printing press, if it's after hours, use the press tool and crack open a beer. And it just makes everything go a lot more smoothly. But yeah, like a lot of people, I had no idea. Before we bought the business, I had no idea what was actually involved in printing. I thought it was just like, oh, don't you just like hit a button like on a copier and do it? No. It's a lot more complicated than that. There's a lot of chemistry involved. I might go into it later, but that's what I do. I'm a printing press operator in a family business. What is your level of education? Some college. I was attending the University of Michigan, pursuing a degree in computer science. I ran out of money. And I've been working full-time ever since. Will I go back and get my degree? Maybe when I have some financial independence, but right now I'm just a blue-collar worker. Are you insane? I might be. Every time I take like, I don't know, an IQ test or personality test, I find myself in like the top 1% or 2% of the population. So, there's probably a good chance that I am not normal mentally, and that would, by definition, make me insane. There's a good chance of that. I haven't been diagnosed with anything, though. I do have some neurotic and compulsive tendencies, especially when I'm under stress. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have cats. I have a cat oh, she's sleeping right now on the chair. I'm not going to bother her. I would show you the cats, but yes. I have cats, and we got fish tanks, too. Atheist Aaron, special awesome bonus question. I noticed that your green wall looks eerily similar to Rabid Ape's green wall. Are you two roommates, or are you both just some part of some crazy green wall cult? No, we're not roommates. I live in Michigan. Rabid Ape, I think, lives in Texas. So, no, we're not roommates. That is very, very far away. And I doubt that we are the only two people who broadcast on YouTube that have green walls. I guess that doesn't really exclude us from being in some sort of green wall cult. I'm just going to have to tell you that I'm not the kind of person who succumbs to cultish behavior. So even if it is as loosely bound as let us paint our walls green, I still wouldn't go along with it. So no, I'm not a part of a green wall cult.